Well, the mic's messed up for the. All right. Well, this
Well,
is starting great. Hi.
good job.
Welcome to the Shout About podcast. I'm Cooper.
I'm Mel, and our mics are funny today.
Yeah, they are because the board's not working. It's fine.
Yeah, no
Mel,
problem.
I'm going to start off with by giving you a little anxiety. So I'm going to give you a situation.
All right.
I'm going to give you a social
As
situation.
if I didn't already have so
You are
much pent up.
Walking down the hallway,
Oh boy.
and you see someone you kind of know,
Oh no.
and you're like, and you make eye contact with them.
Do I wave? Do I smile? Do you
go,
what?
hey, hi, or wave, or like give them the grin, or like what do you
What do I personally do?
like what? Because I was struggling with this today because I kept on making awkward eye contact with people. I'm like, I kind of know you. Do I say something?
That's the worst. What I usually do is I usually go for just the plain old. We both know that this is awkward and we're acknowledging each other smile, where you just like press your mouth into a thin line.
I was
and
straight
don't
like
show any
deer in
teeth.
headlights today. I was like deer in
That's-
headlights. I was just
That's the look you give them. You just have to like go. You have to give them the most terrified look. That's how you deal with that
I'm
situation.
gonna start doing that.
Next time we pass each other like in the serve or whatever, you'll just be like, ah! when you see me.
Oh no! Look at the level spiked so much after.
It did. It's fine. Don't look at it. It was worth it for the joke.
Yes, it was.
Of
always,
course.
always, we'll always do something for the joke. I keep on looking at the monitor.
Stop it.
No, it tells me things, Mel. It tells me things.
What does it tell you?
It tells me when the camera stops recording because I don't want to just.
Oh, I
get
thought it
new
would tell
camera.
you like who's gonna win the next sports bowl next year.
The next sports ball next year.
The
Yeah.
super thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Baseball.
You done good, Mel.
Thanks. I was gonna actually make a joke there, but then I couldn't remember what the World Series was called.
the baseball
The
finals.
Baseball. The Super Bowl for baseball.
for baseball.
Baseball.
We are just. My brain is fried.
I know, me too.
It's the end of the semester where I actually
Yeah.
feel dumber.
Yeah. I just feel like everything's happening at once because it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of my professors are like, "Hey, you know how we assigned you 5 things to do by Friday? How about we give you a few more? How about that?
Well,
would you enjoy
see,
that?"
My professor's
I
like,
would.
My professor's like, hey, you remember those things I told you about at the beginning of the
Oh,
semester that
no.
were due at the end of this semester? But
Hey,
it's-
reminder about that.
Hey, and not even a reminder. He was just like, oh yeah, this is happening. Cool. I'm like, ah.
Ha!
I mean, honestly, they're not like big things, but it's just
But
like
it's
they were
just
all
another
due.
thing to add to the list. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, yeah, I get that. The very long list of things to
Yes,
do by
yes.
tomorrow.
And I mean, I'm not like my roommate. He has he gets notebook paper and he lists it out and he
Oh,
crosses it off. And I mean, I feel like that'd be satisfying, but that's already too much work to make the list.
Yeah. Well, I was reading a thing on Reddit earlier today about how people do that and how it if they do that the day before for the next day, then they have less stress or whatever. But I'm like, I could not make the habit of doing that. That's just another thing I'd have to do before going to bed. And it's when I'm going to bed, I want to get there and fall asleep as soon as possible. I don't want another thing standing between me and that.
Also, my roommate's sick now, so
Does he actually have tuberculosis?
I think he definitely looks worse for wear.
Okay.
He looks really
Okay.
bad.
Maybe it's psychosomatic where he's like, oh, it says I have TB and now I'm dying.
He also dropped it so casually. He's like, yeah, today was fine. Talked to the kids, found out I had TB, whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Sir.
Wait, hold on.
Cameron,
Hold on. Slow down.
hold
What?
on. My roommate has tuberculosis.
Yeah. It's fine.
Whenever he coughs, I'm just like,
Germ-X.
no.
just splash some holy water on that.
All right.
It'll go away.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Modern medicine.
Modern medicine.
Wild.
Yeah, yeah. It's holistic and spiritual. I have a doctorate.
Dr. Mel.
Dr. Mel.
That's
coming
the new
on the case.
sitcom coming this.
This fall.
Never.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to cancel that career option.
Yep, do it now. I just crushed all of your dreams.
I'm so
in
sad.
one podcast.
One fell swoop.
One fell swoop in less
Yeah.
than 5 minutes.
Wow.
I've crushed all of Mel's dreams.
I can't believe you've done this.
I'm still watching Vine compilations.
They keep showing up in my YouTube feed now, and I'm like, well, I gotta watch them
It's
now.
just like, why now is everyone missing Vine at the same time?
I don't know. Yeah. I will always miss Vine.
See, I love one of my favorites is do Sail just kicks the piano. He just karate kicks.
Sail! Crush.
We're not doing Vine again.
No, we can't.
We can't.
Yes,
we already spent an entire episode on Vine.
That one's my favorite though. Anyway, okay, something not Vine.
So
How about MySpace? Am I right?
I never
Another
had a
thing
MySpace.
that died. Me neither.
I
barely have a Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's sad.
I watched a movie recently that I watched for the first time since I was like 16.
Okay.
You know the film Her? With Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix?
is that the
With
robot
one? Yeah, the one where he falls in love with the AI.
I forgot that movie existed.
What's crazy is that the movie completely changed for me.
Really?
Because when I watched it the first time, I was like 16. I was like, what is this? This is dumb. He loves a robot. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
And then on the end, when it ends, I'm like, okay.
All right. I
Fine.
haven't seen it.
But it's like, I watched it literally today, and
Yeah.
at the ending, I'm like, oh, the emotion. It's so deep and complex and subtle and beautiful.
That's what they call. Well, that's what the experts call maturing.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm literally tearing up. It's like one of like the 5 movies I've actually cried.
Really, I've
Yeah.
cried in almost every movie I've seen in my life. Just kidding.
I think I can only think of 5 right now.
Really?
Yes.
Mm.
Up.
Yeah.
Here, my power rankings of crying.
Pull up your IMDb for movies
I actually
you've
don't
cried
have.
during.
I don't have that one. I have a
Wow.
lot more others. But,
Yeah.
So Up, the beginning.
Oh yeah. Everyone
Just
does.
everyone, yeah. Toy Story 3.
Oh, I didn't cry during that one, mostly because that was the first of the 3 that I had seen, and the only one that I have seen, and I didn't know.
Do you not
what
have a
was going on.
soul?
Nope.
All right.
I was like,
You just said
all
that you
right.
cried every movie. Doesn't cry
except
Toy
for
Story
Toy
3.
Story 3.
Solid.
Checkmate, Pixar.
Number 3.
Okay.
Marley and Me.
I refuse to watch. I
Destroyed
don't
me.
watch dog movies. I refuse to watch dog movies. They're always sad, and even if the dog turns out okay in the end, it still is sad in some way. I can't do it. I refuse.
Number 4.
Number 4.
The Florida Project.
I have not heard about that.
It's kind of it's a movie about living in lower class situation. It follows these young these kids. The main character is this like 6-year-old girl,
Oh yeah.
and like near the end, she's just like sobbing to her friend, like how she's her like best friend, and I'm like.
Oh.
I'm just in the middle of a movie theater by myself crying about
It's
a little
fine.
girl telling another little girl how she's her best friend. And I'm like,
No big deal.
it's so touching.
It's so beautiful.
and then of course Her.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
ultimate fine.
I don't want to say why I cried, but it was very emotional.
Yeah.
An emotion that I couldn't really understand when I was 16.
Yeah, it didn't exist back then.
No.
It's a new thing that was the new update.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just.
Emotional
And
update.
I'm talking like I'm super mature now. I was just talking. I was just
I'm
talking.
so deep and worldly because I cried during a movie that I didn't cry during when I was 16.
Now I'm 20 years
And
old
now
and I
I'm
can feel all
20.
of the emotions, whether I like it or not.
Oh man, yikes!
Ah. But yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
That
That's
was my
good.
tangent.
yeah. You know what movie I didn't cry during that I watched recently for the
What?
first time? Thor Ragnarok.
Isn't it so great?
It was
Isn't
so
it great?
good. I really enjoyed it. I was very pleased by it. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
yeah. I enjoyed it more than both of the first Thor movies combined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to my art professor about it earlier today. And
Which one?
Dave.
Dave, okay.
Yeah, the only one who you talk to movies about. And
I feel like I could get something interesting out of Miranda.
you could, yeah. That was mostly a joke. But I was talking to Dave about it, and he said that he didn't that he enjoyed it and he thought it was like fun, but he didn't necessarily like how they made it such a comedy and how now he's just
Love
kind of
that
a
it's a comedy.
I know. I was like,
loved the creative risks that they took in that movie.
I know. I was like, I really liked that it was comedy. He was like, they made him like kind of a dude, bro, and I'm like,
that's
yes,
what's so funny.
Yes, I was like, I like
that's
that.
Well, that's what he's always been. It's just that
they
it was
just didn't
under
acknowledge
a thin layer of like Shakespearean babble talk.
And it's like that. Like combination
goop.
Is like so hilarious to me, and I think it works really well.
But then
for
they
his character.
then Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok, and of other awesome, fantastic, great movies
and
as well.
Person who has the coolest name on the planet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, you know what? And he's from New Zealand. You know what? I can't do it. I'm from New Zealand.
Please don't try anymore.
And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to destroy that and make this movie absolutely hilarious. I wish this movie was R.
Oh,
because
really?
Like when they took the orgy ship through the devil's anus, I was like, that's a real thing that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't.
No spoilers, but that's exactly what happens.
Yes. And it's really funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, what this movie could have done with an R.
Yeah. I liked it where it was, but I could appreciate the differences that would have brought.
And I mean, I'm fuzzy on a few things. It's not a perfect film.
No, it's not perfect by any means, but I had fun during it, and it made me laugh the whole way through, which is all you need in a movie. No, but it was a lot of fun. It needed to not be dark and gritty.
You want to do Get Help? I hate Get Help.
It's so embarrassing. Not for me. Help! Get help!
It's hilarious.
It was so good.
Also, Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master.
Oh
is
yeah,
hilarious.
So I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna quote something, but I'm not gonna quote that.
Is it the one? This is the part at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Or when like Naked Hulk was really funny.
Yeah.
Yep. That's in my mind forever.
Yep. I just liked Banner the entire because he was just like. What the entire time, which was hilarious.
Different. He became a different character.
Different. Yeah,
because
I was surprised.
He's been absent for 2 years.
Right. Yeah. It was good.
What I appreciate about the film too is it has this unexpectedness to it, where other films someone would smash through a window or like break something, but instead they hurt themselves in this movie. Like when he threw the ball. And boom.
Yeah.
Or near or where someone jumps and it's like, oh, it's supposed to be here. Slam. It's hilarious.
Knocked down. Yeah.
It's hilarious. I feel like I'm spoiling, but I'm not.
But it's like people should have seen about. I'm kidding. But I mean, this is all we've talked about is basically all been in the trailers anyway.
Yeah.
Like this, like what surprised me was that the funniest jokes weren't in the trailers.
Yeah, that's how you do trailers.
Like, I was like, oh, it's got a bunch of really funny jokes in the trailers. Let's see what the actual movie's like. And then the rest of the movie was still funny. I was like. That's how you got to do. That's how you do movies.
If you want to see more for that director, check out Hunt for the Wilder People. Hunt for the Wilder People, or What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one.
What We Do in the Shadows is awesome.
Is that the vampire one?
Yes.
I need to watch that.
And it's getting a sequel.
Ooh.
And it's called Werewolves.
Werewolves?
Werewolves. Get it? Like
oh, okay. I was like, how do you spell? We are okay. Contraction.
Werewolves.
Gotcha.
That's funny.
That sounds awesome.
I'm very excited for that. That's my most anticipated sequel.
Really?
Screw the Star Wars.
Blade Runner, go away.
Well, Blade Runner's done.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, 24. Oh.
I haven't seen the original, so I was like, I didn't want to see the sequel.
Honestly, you don't need to see the original to watch the new one.
Yeah, but I still wanted to.
It's good supplemental material, and it makes the second one better. They both make each other better.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
One is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think 2049 is better. So
really, wow. I heard that 2049 was like the best sequel to anything ever, and then people were like, "Well, what about Star Wars 5?"
And I go, "It's not even the best Star Wars movie."
That is blasphemy in my household.
Your household's an Empire household because I'm going to tell you right now, Episode 2, Attack the Clone. No.
I was like, "There's the door." No, I honestly. I go back and forth between which is my favorite. Like
4. It's always been 4. Always will be. 4 is everything.
Yeah. For a while, my favorite one was 6, and then
6 was my favorite growing up.
Yeah, and then 5 was my favorite for a while. But right now, I think it's 4. But but if I went back and rewatched them, that might change. Like, I love them all.
I just think 4 is just so airtight. And
yeah, I just love how it sets up the characters in the universe, and it sets up that whole story. And I have like a
Super
thing for world
influential.
building, and it does it
Oh, you would
so
love-
well.
You haven't seen Her yet.
No,
Her, you would love world building.
Really?
Also, Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, like the best world building
Really?
you'll ever see.
You know
Some of
what?
the best world building.
we watched a movie in one of my classes recently that you may or may not have seen as like a film person. Have you seen Delicatessen?
I have not.
Really, it's this French film from 1991, and it's
Where they like sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
Oui, baguette.
Oh.
Eiffel Tower. No, it's
That's how they say it.
that's how they say it.
I've been to Paris a
Yeah.
couple of times.
And whenever
I
the
don't know.
Parisians are walking around doing their
They're
thing,
like,
they look at
Eiffel
the
Tower.
Eiffel Tower. Yeah, that's what they do. That's how they do it. No, but it's kind of not post-apocalyptic, but it kind of is. But it's, I don't want to say too much because the way it sets itself up and the way it builds and the way you learn about how these people live and what their environment is and their interactions and how like the rhythm of the place works. It's awesome. I highly recommend. I made my family watch it.
Solid. You know
Over
what's so funny is
Thanksgiving.
you're
I was
giving
like,
me,
I need
you're
you guys
giving
to
me
watch
way too
this.
much credit for movies I've watched.
Well, you just like every time I see you, you're just like, hey, movies. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's one of my passions.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to start talking about video games again, let's talk about books. Let's talk about
Books.
books. What are you
Oh.
reading right now, Mel?
Well, right now in my bag, I have This Book is Full of Spiders by David Wong.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you've read that one.
I've
before.
read that one a few
It's good
times.
to reread.
Yeah, I'm also doing a project over it for
Okay.
a class, which is why I've been carrying it around religiously. So it may not be in my bag right now. Actually, I
You know
might
what
have
is
lied.
currently in my bag right now?
What is it?
Artemis,
Artemis.
by Andy Weir. He wrote The Martian.
Yeah, he also wrote The Egg,
Oh, yeah.
that short story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other
Yeah.
book of his that I read
Book.
because
But-
it's just a short little blurb.
The
but I really
Martian's
liked it.
great, and from what I've read of Artemis so far, it's pretty great too.
Yeah, is it another space theme?
Yeah, it's
okay.
on the moon. It's like there's a colony on the moon, and we
And
follow
there's
the main
this
character
guy,
Jasmine.
and he gets left behind.
No, and the main character's name is Jasmine.
Okay.
She's like a dock worker on the moon
Oh,
colony.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That sounds interesting.
We read books. We're
Books.
cultured.
I'm literate.
See, the other book I finished was the one that I was talking about. Probably on like episode 4 was The Girls by Emma Klein, and that was I finished that one. I went like at a certain point with books, I get like halfway through and I put it down and
Yeah.
like I go on with my life, and then like I'm like I should probably finish this, and then I just burn through the next 200 in
Yeah.
like 2 nights and I finish it.
Yep.
No problem.
Yeah. The way I do books is I either sit down and I read the entire thing in one day, or I read the first page or I borrow it from a friend or whatever. I put it down on my desk and I don't touch it for 2 years. And that's why my
It took
friends never lend me books.
It took me so long to finish The Road because it's such a difficult read.
Cormac McCarthy.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
It's a difficult read.
That's
it's
what
a
I've
very
heard.
it's a very brutal book, and it just
Yeah.
took me a long time to just work through that one.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I
one
have
that
so many half-read books right now. I
I know-
hate myself.
I know, me
I
too.
hate myself.
a friend lent me Ready Player One, and so that's on my. I need to.
Mel,
read that.
are you a page folder?
A
Are you a
page
corner
folder?
folder?
I am. I like to make my books homey. I
No.
left
No.
my copy of John Dies at the End of my car for like 2 years, so now the edges of it are all yellowed. It's all beaten up. It's all like dog-eared cornered. I like to. Like some books I try to take care of, but other books it's like this is more like
the hardcovers with the nice.
yeah.
I like to take care of those. Paperbacks, I can just
yeah
toss it.
yeah paperbacks I'll like write on, you know, like I'm like this is my friend.
See,
If I want to make a little note on this, I'm gonna make a little note on this.
see,
dang
see,
it!
I
don't want books to be like on
my
this
favorite book
huge
is
pedestal.
The
I just want
Hobbit.
to- Yeah.
And for
Oh,
I have
I-
like 8 different versions of it. Well, that's because
like-
I have one in German. No, not German,
Oh.
Greek.
Ooh,
I went
that's
with the
cool.
G's. I went with the G's for some reason.
Yeah, I have one in
Greek.
Spanish that my family got me for Christmas.
And I have a very special one that I did that I had for my grad party and people wrote in it.
Oh, yeah,
So
we were
I
talking
read
about that.
through. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And this episode, we repeat things.
You know, you do 11 podcasts.
You run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. But, yeah.
God, what haven't we talked? We've covered everything.
We've
We're
talked
done.
about everything.
Podcast
over. We're calling it.
Closing it down. No more episodes.
Shut this down. Shut all this down.
11 episodes is 11 too many.
Yeah. We're deleting the channel.
No. Not the channel. The channel's fine.
The joke went too far.
No.
You're like, no, wait, no, we can't do that.
Well, yeah. Well, we killed the joke. It's done. It's dead.
over.
It's dead like the show. No, we'll be back next week. But you can check the show out every single Thursday on youtube.com/ blah 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 because no, I'm not going to put that long because I can't get youtube.com/ shoutout because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet.
Here's a link anyway.
It's going to look really gross.
That's okay.
It's going to look really gross.
That's the best kind.
On soundcloud.com/ shout-about.
A different link.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
On all social medias.
All here.
All just shout ABT.
Still all listed.
Just shout ABT.
Here's
at
Facebook, Twitter.
No.
Instagram.
Definitely.
My goal for this show is to make you do as much post-editing work as possible.
Well, the thing is that you only make me do it at the end. I never actually have to do anything in the middle. Okay, now next week Mel's going to be like, man, I can't wait for the screen to flip and go into mirror mode while also flashing and also in black and white while having one of us on fire.
Flares. Oh, no. Wow, I can't believe it.
I'd actually have to go into After Effects.
That's why I said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're done. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.